Micron, one of the biggest winners of this entire AI cycle. Everyone's calling it the king of AI memory, up 270% in this year. But the forward PE, only 8.55. That's 60% cheaper than the S and P500. How much higher can it go? Should I just buy in right now? Wrong. For Micron, a low PE isn't a bargain. It's a warning sign. Hey everyone, I'm Lance. Welcome back to the channel. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly why and what to actually do with this trade. Memory is the textbook cyclical stock. Every few years, both the price and the PE swing violently. Here's Micron's forward PE and stock price over the last 10 years. Cycle bottoms, 5 to 8 times. Mid-cycle, 12 to 15 times. Peak craziness, up to 20 times. Now stack this against the S&P 500 and NVIDIA, and a very clear pattern jumps out. Let's put them side by side. Here's the rule. With cyclical stocks, price and PE move in opposite directions. The higher the stock, the lower the PE, because the entire rally is driven by earnings exploding higher. Broad market indexes, steady earnings growth plus modest multiple expansion, slow and steady upward. Growth stocks, earnings exploding, multiples expanding, and a premium for the story, all three at once. Now let's zoom back in on the memory cycle. Look at all four major players together. Micron, SK Hynix, Western Digital, Samsung. These are the main names in the memory industry. Every single time the valuation looked irresistibly cheap, a crash followed. 2000 peak, Micron crashed 93%. 2018 peak, down 55%. 2022 peak, down 51%. Take SK Hynix. From 2016 to 2018, the stock doubled. But over that same period, the forward PE collapsed from 11 times down to 4 times. How does that happen? Because earnings grew almost 10 times. The stock couldn't even keep up. And what came next? The whole industry collapsed 50% in 12 months. This is what makes cyclical stocks so dangerous. A low PE is the signal you've hit the top. The lower it goes, the more dangerous it gets. So that cheap-looking PE, it's just a side effect of being at the top of the cycle. It's not a value opportunity. It's a warning. So how do you actually know when the cycle is peaked? Let me walk you through the AI supply chain. It starts with users, flows up to the cloud giants, Microsoft, Google, Meta, Amazon, then to NVIDIA, then down to memory makers. Cloud companies see massive user demand, so they throw billions at NVIDIA GPUs. NVIDIA takes those orders to memory makers like Micron. Memory makers respond by raising prices, earnings explode, and ramping up production to handle future orders. Sounds perfect, right? But there's one catastrophic risk. If user demand doesn't materialize, or just disappoints, the cloud giants start cutting orders first. And because memory makers sit at the very end of this chain, they get hit hardest. Inventory pileups, new fabs sitting idle. That's exactly why a cycle peak isn't a soft landing. It's a cliff. So when does the cycle actually peak? My take. 2026 is the year AI demand finally gets reality checked. The moment you read headlines about Microsoft or Google trimming AI budgets, or NVIDIA pulling back orders to suppliers, don't hesitate. Get out. Until that moment, if you already hold Micron, don't panic. Stay in. If you don't own it yet, start small, just enough to watch the story unfold. Now you might be asking, could this time actually be different for Micron? Honestly, it's possible. There's one variable that could change everything, HBM. And here's the thing. HBM and regular DRAM are completely different businesses. Regular DRAM is a pure commodity. Any brand works, customers are spread across dozens of buyers, and ramping capacity is easy. That kind of business is destined to cycle forever. HBM is a totally different animal. It's custom built for individual customers. The entire market has just 3 to 5 buyers. Suppliers get locked in by design. The tech is still evolving fast. Put those 4 things together, and HBM might genuinely escape the cycle. Look at TSMC. It went from being valued like a normal foundry to being valued like a growth stock. Forward PE of 25 to 30 times. Why? Because every iPhone, every NVIDIA GPU pays them. You can think of it as a chip tax. Micron's hope is that HBM turns it into a smaller version of TSMC. But here's the catch. HBM is only 10% of Micron's revenue. The other 90%, still regular DRAM and NAND, which means still that destined to cycle business we just talked about. So here's the more honest description. Micron isn't really an HBM stock. It's a cyclical stock with a growth kicker. Even if HBM fully transitions to growth stock status, the most you're looking at is another 30 to 50% upside from here. The real winner in HBM is SK Hynix. The problem? Hynix is listed in Korea, and US brokers haven't been able to touch it. That's about to change. This June, SK Hynix is launching a USADR. For the first time ever, retail investors can buy the real HBM king directly on Robinhood, Fidelity, or Schwab. So if you're patient, the real question isn't, should I chase Micron right now? It's, should I be positioning for Hynix in June? Next episode, I'll do a complete head-to-head, Hynix valuation, opening day strategy, exactly how I'd play it. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it.